Your communication hub and literary arts center of SDO Isabela. SDO English Academy.
An analogy describes the relationship between words. Subject, verb, or taker.
One hand. English Academy.
Hello, grade 9 learners! I hope you are doing great. It is true that the fourth quarter is the beginning of the end of the school year, but there are still many meaningful learning opportunities that await you. This is Teacher Joey Villanueva Pasilan, your radio teacher for today's lesson, and welcome to another episode of School on Air in English 9. Before we proceed, make sure that your pens and papers are with you. If you are all set, let the fun learning begin. In the previous episode, you learned about judging the validity of the evidence listened to. Do you agree that listening is important in our everyday living?
Yes, sir.
Exactly. Without the ability to listen effectively, messages are easily misunderstood. Remember, learners, that by judging the validity of the evidence we listen to, we can verify the adequacy, reliability, and appropriateness of the information presented. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Great! With the learnings you gained last week, I am sure you are now ready to deepen your understanding because our lesson today is judging the soundness of the author's reasoning and evidence. Sounds exciting, right?
Oh, yes.
Have you ever heard someone say, "Don't believe in everything you read"? Well, maybe they are right. When we read, it could be helpful to be skeptical of any informational text until the authors give us reasons and evidences to trust them. For instance, someone says there are goblins that live in the moon. Would you believe that? Well, how could we know if that is true or false? This kind of information warrants some skepticism. A little side eye, right? When you look at a text, you have to wrap your head around three big things. Care to know what these things are?
Oh, yes.
First, the main idea or the claim. Ask yourself, what is the author trying to say? Take note that claim or main idea is the point authors are trying to explain. It is a statement of position on an issue. How about the next one? Second, the reason. It is a general statement that offers support for a claim. It explains how authors use logic to prove that the claim is true. And the third one is the evidence. These are the facts, details, or other pieces of information that authors use to prove the reasons. Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Alright, let's hear the argument of a YouTuber about the Goblin conspiracy and analyze the effectiveness of the presentation. Are you ready?
Oh, yes.
The Moon Goblin Conspiracy. I firmly believe that there is a colony of goblins living inside the moon, and the government is keeping this information from you. How do we know this? Look at the moon. See that little squiggle? You were thought that was just a crater, but it isn't. It's actually the tip of an enormous goblin moon base. How do I know that? The goblins told me so. I have a special phone line from my house to the moon goblins, and through me, they can answer any question you've got. Our moon door is always open, the goblins tell me. Alright, did you listen carefully?
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you did. From the information given, do you now believe that there are really goblins that live in the moon? Wait, let's analyze it first. What is the claim of the author or the source? Correct. The author says that goblins live inside the moon. This is the main idea that he is trying to prove. How about his reasoning? You are right. He says that the moon crater is the goblin moon base. He backs it by saying that the goblins told him so. And what is his proof? Yes, he mentioned about a phone line that connects from his house to the moon goblins. Well, is that considered an evidence? Or is it just something that he is telling us? Do you think he is telling the truth? Can we verify the stuff mentioned? Exactly. We can talk to the goblins. We don't have access to any of their information. The only person who can prove it is the author himself. Hence, the effectiveness of his presentation is questionable, right?
Yes, sir.
As readers, we should ask ourselves, are there other people, photos, or videos that can prove that the crater is Goblin Moon Base? Can the information be verified independently? If not, then there is no validity in the evidence presented. Remember that to measure the validity of an evidence, we need to make sure that it is accurate and reliable. Take note, learners, when we encounter new information, we should be vigilant not to trust without verifying the evidence. It is important to evaluate the information and look for means to validate the author's claims. A good writer has to earn the trust of his audience, and a good reader has to make a writer work for that trust. What does that look like? I hear you asking. That is an excellent question. Let's take a look at a piece that does its homework. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Should we explore space? Exploring space is one of the most important things we can do. But why? For one reason, the work of getting people and machine into space leads to new technologies. Some of these new technologies become available to everyone and improve their lives. Because of the space programs of the 1960s and 1970s, we have digital clocks, laser surgery, and instant foods. And these new technologies have broader effects on society. They help create new businesses, which then make new jobs, a richer population, and a stronger economy. But there is a second more important reason for exploring space, and it has nothing to do with money. It is called the need to discover. Human beings are naturally curious. We want to know what is out there. If it's at the top of the mountain, or across a river, or at the bottom of the sea, we want to see it and touch it. There you go, dear learners. Did you listen well?
Oh, yes.
I bet you did. Can you identify the claim of the author based on the information you've just heard?
Yes, sir.
You got it! The main idea or claim is that exploring space is one of the important things humans can do. Now, it is important to look into the reasons the author has provided to prove that claim. Let us identify the first reason. Can you name it?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely! Exploring space leads to new technologies. With this reason, what evidence did the author give? Splendid! The evidence he mentioned is because of the space programs of the 1960s and 1970s, we have digital clocks, laser surgery, and instant foods. Do you think this evidence can be verified independently? Right! We can easily verify the information because the author mentioned the dates of these space programs, which details can be further accessed through research. This time, let's try to look for the second reason that the author provided. Will you tell me another reason why exploring space is important? Excellent! The second reason is that humans have the need to discover. Do you agree with that? Did the author prove it? What details in the text would support this reason? That is right. The piece of evidence given is human beings are naturally curious. We want to know what is out there. If it's at the top of the mountain, or across a river, or at the bottom of the sea, we want to see it and touch it. Again, is this evidence verifiable? Yes, it is. If we dig deeper into it, we can prove that humans have been conducting discoveries in the mountain, across the rivers, or even at the bottom of the sea. That is because curiosity is human nature. You have been doing great, dear learners. I can see you are now ready to test how much you have learned. But before that, let us review the important concepts we have discussed.
Okay.
What do you call the point authors are trying to explain? Perfect! It is called the claim or main idea. How about the general statement that offers support for a claim? Great! It is the author's reasons. Lastly, what are the facts, details, or other information that authors use to prove the reasons? Very good! The answer is evidence. To gain the trust of the readers, authors must provide not just reasons, but evidence. Fantastic! It's such a pleasure to teach when you are that attentive. Since you are all geared up, it's time to have our final activity. Before we start, I hope you are now holding your pen and paper. All you need to do is to identify whether the given information is claim, reason, or evidence. You have 5 seconds to write your answers. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's begin. Number 1. Community pantries spread hope to the nation. Number 2. More than kindness or compassion, the community pantries summon solidarity among our people, connecting the well-to-do with people who are in dire need of food assistance. Number 3. Community pantries are to 2021 in the same way that PPE donation drives, free rides, free housing, free meals, and free haircuts, all for healthcare workers, and community kitchens and community feeding programs were to 2020. Number 4. With COVID-19 transmission mainly spreading through direct, indirect, or close contact with infected people, washing hands with soap and running water is of critical importance. Number 5. Hand washing is one of the key cornerstones of COVID-19 prevention. Number 6. Global Hand Washing Day is observed to raise awareness and highlight the importance of hand washing as an effective means of disease prevention. This year marks a critical reminder for the world that this simple, cost-effective practice can save lives.
Tayo ay mag-aral sa loob ng ating tahanan. Sa radyo ay mag-tune lang, tiyak ika'y may matututunan. Pagkat sa gitna ng pandemya, tayo pa rin ay magkaisa upang masigurong bawat bata ay pumapasa. Kinabukasan, ang pag-asa ng ating bayan, isa pusong pagkatuto ng matupad ang pangarap mo. Pagkat sa gitna ng pandemya, tayo pa rin ay magkaisa upang masigurong bawat bata ay bumabasa. Gamit ang ating radyo, pakinggan at
Alright? Your time is up. Again, check your answers honestly. Here are the correct answers. Number 1, claim. Number 2, reason. Number 3, evidence. Number 4, reason. Number 5, claim. And lastly, number 6, evidence. Did you get the correct answers?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations! You certainly did well today. My dear students, it has been a great day of learning and fun. I do hope you enjoyed our episode today. Always remember that your ability to assess the soundness of author's reason and evidence will help you make information decision as you form your own principles. On behalf of the writer, Maria Lourdes Alindayo Ugale, together with the whole SDO Isabela RBI production team, this has been your radio teacher, Teacher Joey Villanueva Pasilen. Goodbye and until next time.
Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon.
Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang may iwan.
Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela.